Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rise Up leader and advisory board member, Banda, and Dr. Denise Dunning, founder and executive director of Rise Up.
Good afternoon. It's great to be here with all of you. My name is Denise Dunning, and I'm the founder and executive director of Rise Up. And what Rise Up does is really advance health, education, and equity for girls, youth, and women everywhere. We invest in strong local leaders, like this one right here, who you're about to hear from, and give them the funding and the support that they need to be able to create large-scale change so that they can end child marriage, ensure that girls can finish school, and enable women and their children to be safe and healthy. We now have a network of over 370 leaders around the world who have been able to advocate for more than 100 laws that impact more than 115 million girls, youth, and women. I'm thrilled to be here today with Banda, who is one of our Rise Up visionary leaders. who you'll see in a minute, more than anyone I know, personifies what it really means to lead like a girl. Is from Malawi, where 50% of girls are married before the age of 18. Too many girls, just like are married to men who are 2 or even 3 times their age. And what that means is that they're trapped in lives of poverty and violence. That was supposed to be Memory's story, but it's not. Because when she was 13, Memory stood up and did something incredibly brave, something that she's going to tell you a little bit about here today. So, tell us what life is like for girls in Malawi.
I would say life is pretty much difficult for girls to live in Malawi. More specifically, I would say that once a girl child is born, the first thing that is said about her is that how beautiful she is, how beautiful she's going to be, a wife for somebody, stuff like that. And as she is growing up, she hears the very same echoes that one day I'll be married and I'll raise the children. And that is not all. We have so many traditional practices in Malawi, and one of the most traumatic tradition is that when girls reach the age of at puberty stage, the age of 10 or 11, somewhere there, they have to go to the initiation camps. And at the initiation camps, they learn a lot of other different things. And the most thing that they have to go through is to learn how to sexually please a man. And when they go there is a very special day, they call it, because there is a man who is paid by the community. This man goes to the camp and rapes the girls. And you can imagine the traumatic experience that these girls have to go through every day. And this man is not his first time, nor his second time. And little is known about this man. Probably he could be infected with HIV and other sexually transmitted infections. And what happens is that once you get out of the camp, when you go out there, it's now a different world. These girls see the world differently because they have been taught something at the camp, and when they come back, they look at themselves as if they are grown-up people, but they are not really grown-up. They are still young, and what has been done to the camp is that they've been lobbed off of their childhood. And what they think about is marriage, and when they start thinking about that, they either get pregnant or drop out of school right away. And when they drop out of school, the only option is to get married. And when they get married, they face a lot of challenges in the marriage. They could be sexually abused, and another thing is that they do not really have the economic muscle to stand on their own. So even when they're abused, they cannot really talk about that because they know that they depend on the very same man that abuses them. So they opt to be quiet. And actually, this creates a circle of poverty, a circle of violence. because she cannot be able to teach her children, she do not really have the information.
Thank you. So this is a practice in southern Malawi of sexual initiation that I remember when I first heard about it, I couldn't even believe existed. And I remember when I first met Memory was so blown away that she had the strength and the courage to stand up and say that she was going to be different and that she had goals that she wanted to achieve. So tell us a little bit about what gave you the courage to decide to do something different with your own life.
Basically what made me to be very different is that when I saw my peers, when I saw the young women around me, I was not really impressive of the lives that they were living. All what I wanted was to be a different person, take a very different approach to life. And that wasn't really easy because as I was growing up, I would say that I was not very much different from my peers at first because all what I thought was, oh, when I will reach 15, I'll also be married. So, but then things changed around me really because I saw child marriage happening in my own family. My cousins and all those people around me, my peers in my class were being married off. And when I saw that happening in my own family, that's when I really felt the sting of child marriage, what it is like, the pain that girls have to go through. And it was at that moment that I really decided that I really have to take a very different approach and set up my own personal goals, step out of the bigger shoe and fit in my own little shoe. So later on, it really worked.
I love that you're standing in your own little shoes. Yeah. So what I think is amazing is that you didn't just decide you wanted to do something different for yourself, but you really decided you want to fight for the rights of other girls. So tell us about your work with Rise Up and the Girls Empowerment Network.
Actually, before I really started thinking about doing something in my own community, changing my own life and the lives around me, I really didn't know how. I didn't have any approach, but all what I thought was I really need to step up and do something. And then at the midst of my all questions, an incredible organization called Girls Empowerment Network and Rise Up came in my community with a Stop Child Marriage campaign. And I felt like this is what I wanted because they had all the answers to my questions. And I joined, they came with clubs, they initiated clubs in my community. And we went through different trainings, advocacy, skill building, confidence building, all that. And we were able to rise up as young people in my community. And with one voice, girls in my community came together and they used a girl-centered approach. So we were able to mobilize different voices from across our community, and we're able to talk to our traditional leaders what we really wanted as young people. We told them we want education. We don't want to get married when we are 11 years old. And they really listened to us, and it was hard at first, but with their support, they actually came up with the bylaws, actually, that banned child marriage before the age of 21. And it was very incredible to see such a remarkable support from the traditional leaders who are actually the law custodians, who are the ones that pay for the man who goes to the initiation camps and rapes the girls. So it was a very good approach to see that traditional leaders were changing their mindset towards the young girls.
Yeah, it's amazing. So Memory and the girl leaders were able to convince 60 chiefs to pass these bylaws that now protect thousands of girls from early marriage. And I know that that led to broader public support for a law that bans child marriage in Malawi. So tell us, how did you do that?
We really took another incredible step. We really wanted to push beyond limits because we thought that this was something that was only done in my community. But then we thought about so many other girls in Malawi that were going through the very same challenges. And we actually came up with another campaign called I'll Marry When I Want. And it was actually through this campaign that we came together as young people, as young girls with one voice, and we were consolidated with one voice, and we learned a lot about our constitution, the Malawi constitution, and we learned that there are different laws that are there to protect young girls, but they were not enough. And we had also learned that there is a drafted bill on Marriage Act which has been hanging without being debated on for over 10 years. When we looked at that with my fellow young girls, we felt like this is a very important bill that we can debate on, that we can represent to our members of parliament. And with the help of the traditional leaders who had already started supporting us, we went further and talked to the members of parliament to support us in passing this bill. And when this bill was actually being represented in the parliament, we had, by that time, had the full support from the members of parliament. And the bill passed, and later on, the president assented to the bill, making it a law that marriage age has to be raised from 15 to 18.
That's amazing. So you and the girls leading this movement now have managed to get a law passed that protects 4 million girls in Malawi from child marriage. And you're so young and have already done so much, and yet have such a long and amazing future ahead. So what is your hope for your own future and for that of girls in Malawi and around the world?
I would really like to see girls all over the world being educated. I would like to see girls being supported in whatever way, investing in them, and at the same time, they have to be given equal opportunities in life. And I hope that girls all over the world will be able to speak with one voice and be able to stand for our, actually claim for our space, stand up for our rights, and realize our dreams and achieve our dreams all together.
Thanks, man. So memory has taught us all a bit about what it means to lead like a girl. At least she certainly taught me. And we're building a movement and need your help. So I'm going to ask you to take out your cell phone right now. For real. Actually, take it out of your purse or wallet. And tweet riseup_together. And then go to our website, which is riseuptogether.org, to learn about what you can do to make a difference in the lives of millions of girls just like Memory. Thank you so much.
Please welcome GlaxoSmithKline Chairman of Vaccine